I'm going to remind you that my remarks are mine alone, not necessarily those of the commission, the commissioners, or the staff.
My remarks are my own. They're not the remarks of the commissioner or the staff.
I should note that my views are my own. I'm not speaking on behalf of my fellow commissioners or the staff.
About crypto in particular, the other question we face that is very challenging is this a security, and to what degree is it a security under the securities laws? And I think, I'll be honest, I think my colleagues have done a great job about this. The director of our division of corporation finance is a man named Bill Hmmmm, who did he gave a speech where he laid out, here's how we think about this, and gave a set of principles that the market can follow in understanding, here's how you know if you have a security or if you don't. Now,
Bill Hmmmm recently outlined the approach we take to evaluate whether a digital asset is a security, and I encourage you to take a look at Bill's speech, which is available on our website.
Sure, Bob. These are complex facts and circumstances tests, but when we look at Bitcoin or if we look at Ether and the highly decentralized nature of the networks, we don't see a third-party promoter where applying the disclosure regime would make a lot of sense. So we're comfortable in some sort of viewing these as items that don't have to be regulated as securities.
Back in 2018, then SEC Corporation Finance Director Bill Hmmmm stated that he believed Ether was not a security. Last month, CFTC Chair Benham expressed his view that Ether is a commodity. The State Attorney General of New York asserted in a court filing last month that Ether is a security. Clearly, an asset cannot be both a commodity and a security. Do you agree?
Without speaking to anyone.
I know you've repeatedly said you're not going to speak to one, except you've spoken to one, Bitcoin. So I'm asking you to speak to a second one, the second largest market cap here.
And speaking to the tokens, there's 10 to 12,000. If there's a group of entrepreneurs in the middle,
asking about one.
The public is anticipating a profit based on the...
I'm asking you a specific question, Chair Gensler. I said this in private. This should be no shock to you. I'm asking this question. Is Ether a commodity or a security?
And again, it depends on the facts and the law, and if there's a group of individuals...
I'm asking you about the facts and the law sitting in your seat and the judgment you are making.
And so, Mr. Chair, I think you would not want me to prejudge because I'm also...
But you have prejudged on this. You've taken 50 enforcement actions. We're finding out as we go, as you file suit, as people get Wells notices on what is a security in your view, in your agency's view. I'm asking you a very simple question about the second largest digital asset. What is your view?
And my view is if there's a group of individuals in the middle that the public is
All right. So let me
it's really despicable. It's disgusting, really, is what it is. He keeps going on record to saying these exchanges are selling securities. And then you ask, well, which ones? And he won't say, because now we know from his comment that you just asked me about, he's going to go with they're all securities except for Bitcoin, which makes this Ripple XRP case extremely important. I want to get to that.
Well, if I could just note something about you mentioned your hearing about the recent events in the markets, and I would note there were 3 banks that failed in those handful of days, those 4 or 5 days. And 2 of those banks, the first and the third that failed, Silvergate and Signature, were engaged in the crypto business. I mean, some would say they were, crypto banks. And the third, the biggest, Silicon Valley Bank, actually, when it failed, you saw this country's, the world's second leading stable coin, had $3 billion involved there, depeg. So it's interesting just how this was all had some crypto narrative as well.
And my time is up. Thank you.
Why the lying? Why you always lying?
It is true that Signature banked a healthy proportion of crypto customers. About 20% of its depositor base was crypto companies. They were known and had announced previously that they were de-risking from the crypto space, but again, with the run we saw on the bank that Friday evening, about 20% of the deposits left the bank, but 20% of that 20% was crypto. The rest were normal commercial customers with uninsured deposits that were leaving the bank, and so we did not see the collapse as a result of crypto deposits and their instability there. It was a broad base of depositors that left the bank. The crypto depositors that left the bank were in exact proportion to their depositor base, and so it really was just a a new fashion bank run prompted by what happened with SVB.